Yo, what's going on, guys? I just want to do a quick video, a message that's really important that I've been finding to be very important, and I want to really share, which is this idea of consistency being a lie, in the sense that people often say that you need to be consistent to succeed, and I think that oftentimes that can be true. I think that can often be true, but that is not necessarily always true. And for me, I'm discovering that it's never true for me, almost, in the sense that when we think about consistency, we think about linear progression. So when people say you need to be consistent, that means that you need to be putting in hours every day or every week, and you can't be missing those weeks, you can't be missing those days. And a really good example for me has been exercise. Now, I recently have been wanting to get better, just using my brain better. So I started exercising more, and so I had this plan of doing things a specific way, like doing burpees every day, and I've been somewhat consistent with that. I've also wanted to do handstands. I've also wanted to do the L-sit, and I've also wanted to be doing pull-ups, but just due to my time, I'm a father, I have a job, I'm also learning new things, new skills every day. I haven't been able to hit everything consistently. Now, overall, there's been a general trend of me progressing upwards, and sometimes I would do the L-sit, and I've been able to actually get an increase in the L-sit, but I've been wanting to improve my L-sit for years now. It's only now that I've been able to actually see a big increase in my duration, and so when I first got the desire to get the L-sit down, I knew that I had to do it on the daily, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it on the daily, and now it's been years to the point where now I'm in this place where I can hold it for like 20 seconds now, and for me, it's a line of least resistance to try to do it more often. But I'd be lying to you if I said that it just was a month of dedication. And I think that the point is that sometimes for people it's not going to be you have to do it daily, you have to do it monthly. For me, it's just been I just want to enter that state of doing it. I just want to enter a state of me feeling good and being guided by my intuition, so that I can do the thing that feels the most right. And this is the thing that people don't often see, which you cannot really track when you're thinking about things so linearly. People say, oh, if you want to hit X amount, let's say money wise or a career, you have to do these specific things, and they lay it out for you, and they say stick to this and you'll get there. But the thing that they don't explain is that life can be messy, and that there's certain aspects that you're just not going to account for. Like, a lot of people do not understand the emotional roller coaster that one has to go through during consistency. A lot of people, there's a whole thing that people talk about when it comes to emotions, and also the social relationships or the physical changes that can happen when you go through these things. So, the linear path can be great to chart things out logically, but it's never like that. It hardly is ever going to be so clean that if you just do it daily that you're going to get it done. And also, it also isn't natural to think of things this way. Nature does not grow in a very linear fashion. Nature grows integratively. So I think about let's compare I'm going to compare this to learning. So if I'm learning a subject and I'm told to just memorize things, it's not as efficient as me learning the subject in a way that is more integrative. So I might be called to learn to memorize, but what is more efficient often is to learn through association. So me learning through metaphors and going to other routes, and actually almost like going against the content itself. Like, maybe some people are used to memorizing, and so they're saying, oh, you just need to repeat that consistently, and you're gonna learn. But for me, I've found that I could explore I could have a whole journey around a word or a person, and it might almost seem that like I get out of tune with it, but because I've gone through this whole different approach of exploring it, now I have a lot more story to it, and so I learn better, and so I recall the word better, and and now I'm able to apply it. So that's an example, right, where this works out. But I think also just my life in general. The point is that the thing is that your intuition knows better than your mind does. Your intuition is connected to the collective. Your intuition exists beyond time. It can see beyond time. And so when you get a feeling, a sense, a jolt to do something, and you really feel it in the moment, and then you get pulled into it, and you just get obsessed for a month, and then the obsession just dies. Understand that can just be natural. Understand that Rick Rubin has talked about this too, that maybe you just needed to plant the seed, but the seed won't sprout until another year or another few years. And the thing that I want you to recall and to really think about is that it's not the direct thing. It's not the direct thing that you're often. It's not the direct thing that you're really shooting for. It's not the consistent thing. It's often the thing that happens as a byproduct of that. It's like, imagine, like, it's not always a straight line. You can think about it like if you a 4-year university, for example. So many things happened in that 4 years that have added to my development as a human being. And so, what was the product of that line that I experienced? And that product was really an integration of my individual architecture. We all have a unique architecture within us. Things that sound right, that feel right, our past, our soul, all of that is being integrated while you're going through this linear process. So when you're saying it's about consistency, what you're really saying is that it's about the external path. But what I'm saying is that it never really was about the external path, because on the day-to-day, if you make your internal architecture the priority, then your external path gets drawn for you by your intuition. And so then it's going to send you in every which way. It's going to be messy. It's going to be crazy. But the efficiency in terms of your soul experience is amplified. So you do things because they feel right and because they resonate. And so you end up evolving a lot more. Now, not always is this easy. Not always is this easy to go through, because we want to know exactly what we're doing, when we're doing it, how it's getting us to where we want to go. It's not gonna be that clean. It's gonna be something more like you're evolving as an individual, and so due to you learning to dance, you end up finding your wife, right? That's an example, right? You didn't go for the wife, you went to go dance, but you found the wife anyways. And then also maybe like due to you needing to make money, you go to a restaurant, to whatever, and then you end up building a crazy relationship with an individual, and then you end up quitting, you go somewhere else. Like that's another example, right? So it's like, it's not always so linear, and not always, and then you realize this, and you continue to dive into this, and you realize that maybe it never was about, maybe you shouldn't make your decisions based on an external thing. Maybe you just go based on how you feel. So you're walking through life with your eyes closed, basically. So consistency isn't necessary. My point is, consistency is not necessary for success. In fact, it can get in the way of it. Sometimes doing something for X amount of time is just not the most efficient way. Maybe due to the factors, the social factors, the personal factors, the external circumstance, your intuition will tell you what's the best route to take given all of that. You cannot really decipher all of that with your logical mind. Only your intuition can. And so it can come in the form of dreams. It can come in the form of feelings, of hunches, of visions. I get them all the time now. Like my dreams communicate with me the next step. Often it's in the form of feeling. If I just don't feel anything, then maybe it's just a time to just stand still and be present. Other times call for more action, for me to be obsessed and work. Other times call for more time with the family. Other times call for more time with my job. So the point is, if you can stop thinking about consistency in terms of logic and think about it consistency in terms of connection to your soul, then that is really true consistency, and that's what really leads to more progress, and also efficient progress, and also just feeling better. That's something to think about, something to consider, and I hope that you found this video helpful. I can explore more things. If you guys have more questions, just let me know. See you in the next video. Stay lucid. Peace.